We're in the home stretch of the Zero Racing Series' third season. Championship leader Jason Monds is on the pole here in a rather small grid at RaceRoom Bridge. This race is a big deal because Monds is very close to punching his ticket to the title. He currently leads the championship with 321 points to Martin Lauer's 223 and Alessio Bonis' 167. Both of those racers are not in attendance for this race, so a good chance that he can pretty much set himself up to be the champion next round, although mathematically he cannot win the title in this race, or in the second race. So let's run down the grid. On pole we have Jason Monds. P2 we have Mike Mark. P3 we have Quintis Gillespie. P4 Wesley Stokes. P5 Dule Markovic, his best qualifying of the season. P6 Mike Magasevich. And P7, Rick Martel. Let's get going. Also made some minor audio changes to the recording. Let me know if you like them. And they're off. Monds with a pretty good start. It looks like, but Wesley Stokes with a fantastic start off of row 2 might actually challenge for the lead here in the BMW. He goes through. Mike Mark goes through. Dule Markovic, a fantastic start. The BMW's absolutely lighting it off the line. Markovic having problems, though. Him and Magasevich go into the wall. That'll relegate them to 6th and 7th place. Monds up into 3rd, trailing the two BMWs of Stokes and Mark, followed by his Mercedes teammates Gillespie and Martel. Magasevich the only Audi here today, and Markovic back in the back of the pack. Front of the pack, it's Wesley Stokes, recently a winner at Indianapolis, looking for a second win. It'd be a big deal for the BMW crew if he could do so. Mike Mark is their championship hopeful, although eliminated as of Indianapolis from actually being able to win the title, but he could still finish as high as second. RaceRoom Bridge has been historically a track where people have won from further back than usual. 4th place would not be at all unusual to pick up a victory from at this particular racetrack. Oh, Mark has lost it. He regains it. What car control from Mike Mark. Still 1-2 for the BMWs. I don't believe that they have had a 1-2 all season long. This would be amazing. Lately, we've had a huge turnaround in production from the BMWs. They're picking up a couple race wins, more regular podiums, charging up the standings, and these two men, Wesley Stokes and Mike Mark, leading the way along with Mark Labzul. Monds still in 3rd. Gillespie still hanging on in 4th place. Looks like Rick Martel is being dropped off the back of this pack. Could be a great 4-way battle here for the victory. This could be fantastic. Mark goes spinning in the background. That could be a big deal. Oh. It's going to allow Gillespie and Martel and Magasevich through. Let's back this up. We got to check this out. What exactly happened with Mike Mark and Jason Monds here? Alright, so it looks like Mark gets a little bit out of shape in the first S. Loses it. Monds actually lost it. There was even no contact between the two cars. Just both of them just pushing a little bit too hard through that first S. And that allows everyone except, it looks like, Dule Markovic up a spot to take advantage. Wesley Stokes was under a lot of pressure just a moment ago, and now he's got a fairly good lead, looking calm, looking collected. He just needs to keep putting in decent lap times. Quintis Gillespie's in 2nd place, Rick Martel 3rd, Mike Mark 4th, Magasevich is 5th place, 6th for Monds, 7th for Markovic. Mike Mark on the charge, trying to get back onto the podium. As he looks, he's gotten past Megasevich. And next on his list is going to be Rick Martel. This is the man, I believe, that is on the move right now. Mike Mark in 4th place was P2. Had a problem right here in this first S. Much cleaner this time. He's got Rick Martel up ahead of him. A little out of control there as well. Ends up going wide, but good car control from Mark. He's shown that a couple times. He tends to break out a little bit in that turn and seems to be able to bring the car back. Season 4 of Zero Racing is coming up in actually just about a week's time, kicking off from this very track here. GT3s are the car class for the season, as it will be BMW Z4s for the teams, and independents will be allowed a slightly more open selection of cars. We have a BMW M6 on the entry list, a McLaren 650S, and a Chevrolet Corvette CO6, pardon me. Z06, pardon me. The Vet. That's in the game. There you go. Mike Mark closing up on Rick Martel. Martel qualified in dead last, so to take a podium would be a pretty big deal for him. I don't think he's going to be able to hold this, though. I think Mark is just too fast, very determined, very smooth. Martel gets a little out of shape heading into the tunnel. And that makes it a pretty simple pass up into 3rd place. Another guy who's going to be under attack here as soon as the Audi of Mike Magasevich. He's got that championship leader, Jason Monds. You got to ask, though, how aggressive does Monds get in a track where his 2 main rivals for the championship are not present? And the only 2 guys who can stop him from winning the title are not present. I mean, any points he picks up here are just entirely gravy for that Mercedes car. Stokes still out in front with a pretty good lead. Gillespie pretty much alone in 2nd place. Mike Mark still being kept company by Martel, but I don't see Martel being able to come back at him. So that makes Jason Monds the danger man, currently in 5th place, tracking down the 4th place Audi of Mike Magasevich, or the 5th place Audi of Mike Magasevich, pardon me. 6th place Jason Monds. We'll see how much the Audi tries to fight him. Gets a pretty hefty lockup there in the uphill section. Locking up in that corner as well. This is going to be hell on the brakes and tires of the DTM Audi. Another bit of a lockup there heading up the hill. This is just letting the championship leader come closer and closer to him. Look for him to make a move here into the final corner of the lap. Not quite enough there. Oh, heavy lockup. This is going to open the door. Can Monds get through on Megasevich? Doesn't look like quite yet, but it's still pressure. Now, how ballsy do you have to be to go around the outside here at the S's? The answer is he's got it. Monds gets it with a very nice move around the outside into the S's. Wesley Stokes, in the meantime, it looked like he was going to have to really fight for this win. Gets a couple of helping hands as Mike Mark and Jason Monds have a moment. Delays some of the rest of the field, and he's just sprinting away looking for win number 2. Gillespie still in 2nd place. 3rd place for Mark. Martel 4th. 5th for Jason Monds. 6th for Mike Magasevich, who is definitely struggling under braking at this point in the Audi. And then Dule Markovic in 7th place. Martel, I think, is actually eating a little bit back onto Mike Mark. Still not willing to give up on that podium, but he may need to worry about behind him because Jason Monds is coming, and he's coming fast. been a pretty disappointing day for Dule Markovic, who qualified a season-best 5th for this race, and just wasn't able, got off to a rough first lap and hasn't really recovered since. Had a fantastic start as all 3 BMWs absolutely got off the line impressively and took 3 of the top 4 spots. He is cycled to the back, though. Wes Stokes still up in front. Mike Marks still having a pretty good day. Looks like he'll pick up a podium. Question is this 4th place battle between Jason Monds and Rick Martel. Of course, next round, when we head to Chang, we're going to have to start talking about drop scores as we get closer to the end of the season. This is the 8th round of the championship, and only 8 rounds will count as points. So potentially this could be Jason Monds' last point-scoring efforts of the season if he cannot deliver in the Asian leg. A healthy championship lead, though, overall, almost 100 points. Ooh, Martel seems to have lost connection, and that makes it a little bit easy to see Jason Monds just fly on by into 4th place. Leave it to Mercedes to be absolutely rigging the deck for their championship contender. We'll see if Monds can get onto the back of Mike Mark, which would be his next target, and that marks the podium. Lap count running down. Wesley Stokes, he has led the whole way. It looked like it was going to be a pressure battle at the front at the beginning, but he has delivered. He stayed cool as a cucumber. I think Quintis Gillespie is catching him, but not at an alarming rate. So I don't really know if the 34 Mercedes is going to make the 31 BMW work for this or not. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Looks like Rick Martel may have had a moment which has dropped him down to 6th place. Let's have a look. Looks like this is where it might have been. This gets a little bit too much of the curb, and that'll make you a little bit stomach sick. Magasevich slips on by into 5th place. Martel losing 2 spots in the course of just 1 lap. So ride with the race leader Wesley Stokes just here for a little bit. See him handle this very smooth driver, not necessarily the one who's been setting all kinds of speed records, but just very calm, very consistent, and it gets the job done a lot of the time. A guy who's really benefited from the coming on of form of the BMW car lately, after some early season struggles. Winner in Indianapolis. Looking to add another win here in the Ice Watch sponsored BMW. Gillespie again, looking just eyeballing that. He looks like he's a little closer, but don't know. I think there's just not enough of a gang right now. Doesn't look like the Mercedes quite has the pace advantage needed to get in there. As stated, this would be a victory from P4 on the starting grid. Not the lowest we've seen a winner take a race win here at Bridge. The lowest is P6 that we have seen a winner take a win from in a opening race of a round. So, not making history, but I'm sure West Stokes doesn't really care. It's a second win, it's a second win. Gillespie is getting a little bit closer. It is looking like he's having a little bit of a harder time holding the line here through the final corner. So, look for maybe Gillespie to have something to say about the third sector. But I think the pressure's here. It may just be my imagination, but I think Jason Monds in fourth place in the championship leading number 2 Mercedes car sponsored by Eurotronics is getting closer to the number 13 of Mike Mark, the Puma sponsor BMW. That would be for the final podium position. It's been very seldom that we've seen Jason Monds off of the podium. He has been absolutely dominant to the point where he could clinch the title in Chang. The only other 2 championship contenders are not here for this round. It's a huge chance for Monds to make up to just, extend that lead and make it damn near unassailable. Gillespie's still closing, but this is the final lap. I just don't think he can do it. I really don't know if Jason Monds can either. The pole sitter for this race got off to a bit of a bad start. Seemed like it was going to be okay, but then into the S's he lost a lot of ground to the BMWs. And then had a moment where him and Mike Mark both spun out. And that really kind of handed the race to the BMW of Wesley Stokes. Wesley Stokes rounds the final turn to take the checkered flag and his second victory of the season. Quintis Gillespie bringing it home in second place, and rounding off the podium, Mike Mark. Jason Monds takes a solid fourth place, helps him immensely in the championship hunt. Mike Magasevich getting a great fifth place for the Audi team. Rick Martel and Dule Markovic round off this abbreviated field. We'll be headed to race 2, and Markovic will be the man to lead from pole. Can he replicate a great start that he had in race 1? And can he hold it this time? He's got some pace. It's just got to eliminate some of the mistakes he made here in race 1 if he wants to make a challenge for the top 10 in the championship.